The Wendigo is one of the most intriguing and terrifying creatures in the mythology of the indigenous peoples of North America. According to legend, it is a creature that embodies hunger, cold, and an insatiable craving for human flesh. It is said to be born from a person who resorts to cannibalism in a moment of extreme desperation, usually during harsh winters, thereby losing their humanity and turning into a monster. The Wendigo is described as a tall, emaciated creature with skeletal limbs, long claws, and hollow, glowing eyes within a deformed skull crowned with antlers. Interestingly, the Wendigo not only hunts humans but also curses those who encounter it, infecting them with a cannibalistic obsession. Fire is one of the few effective ways to ward off the Wendigo. Its light and warmth are said to repel the creature. A Skinwalker is a creature believed to possess the ability to transform into specific animals and take on their characteristics. In the language of the Navajo tribe, where this legend originates, it is called Yi Naldlushi, which roughly translates to one who walks on all fours. Typically, a Skinwalker is a shaman or witch who has mastered secret rituals associated with dark magic, enabling them to change into animals such as coyotes, bears, or mountain lions. A Skinwalker is not born with these powers. It is someone who has deliberately chosen a path of evil. To gain these abilities, they must often commit a cruel act, most commonly the murder of a close relative. This ritual grants them great power, but also curses their soul. In Navajo communities, fear of this being runs so deep that people often avoid speaking its name aloud, believing it could attract the creature's attention. The legend is also connected to the well-known Skinwalker Ranch in northeastern Utah, a site that has become the center of modern myths and conspiracy theories involving various supernatural phenomena, including alleged Skinwalker sightings. Baykok is a creature found primarily in the mythology of the Ojibwe people, who once inhabited vast regions of Canada and the northern parts of what is now the United States. He is described as a gaunt, almost skeletal wraith, with glowing eyes sunken deep into hollow sockets. Known as the Invisible Hunter, Baykok can blend perfectly into his surroundings, moving silently through forested areas. His presence is betrayed only by the occasional whistle of arrows released from his bow. Baykok most often targets careless travelers who let their guard down while resting. If someone falls asleep in a dangerous place, the spirit appears without warning and takes their life with a single, precise shot. Sometimes he stuns his victim with a club, then devours their liver or drinks their blood, leaving them alive but in a state of extreme weakness. Those who survive an encounter with this wraith often awaken disoriented, drained of strength, and with no memory of what happened. The ThunderBird is a powerful figure in the beliefs of many indigenous peoples of North America, particularly among tribes from the Pacific Northwest and Great Lakes regions. It is described as a colossal bird with a wingspan so vast it can blot out the sun. The ThunderBird is said to dwell high above the clouds, atop remote mountain peaks. Each beat of its wings is believed to produce the sound of thunder echoing across the sky, while lightning flashing through the clouds is said to come from its eyes. The ThunderBird is regarded as a divine or semi-divine being, both a guardian of order and morality and a protector of humans against evil spirits. In many myths, the eternal rival of the ThunderBird is the underwater panther, known in indigenous languages as Mishipeshu. This opposition symbolizes the balance between water and air, as well as the cooperative forces of nature. Mishipeshu is described as a creature with the head and paws of a great cat and a body covered in sharp scales. It is often depicted with horns or antlers and a long, serpent-like tail made of copper. The creature is frequently associated with the region's natural wealth, especially the copper found around the Great Lakes. According to some legends, Mishipeshu guards underwater deposits that were highly valued by indigenous peoples. It can grant abundance to those who show respect, but may punish those who seek riches at the expense of the natural world. Deer Woman is an intriguing figure from Native American legend, often described as a beautiful woman with deer-like features, such as antlers or hooves. In some versions of the story, she can shift between a fully human form and an animal form. She typically appears to solitary men, especially those who have treated women with disrespect. Using her charm, she lures them deep into the forest, where she may take their lives or drive them mad, leaving them with lasting psychological torment. Although often associated with the darker forces of nature, some traditions portray her as a spirit that mediates between the human world and the natural spirit realm. Chenoo is a creature that was once human, but was cursed for their sins and transformed into a savage, cannibalistic ice giant. This monstrous being feeds on human flesh and chooses deep northern forests and harsh winter wastelands as its hunting grounds. It is said that the creature often appears suddenly during snowstorms, attacking unsuspecting travelers and hunters. Accounts of encounters with Chenoo emphasize its supernatural endurance and ability to move through extremely harsh conditions. Some legends suggest that it may be possible to save a person cursed by the transformation by melting the ice within their heart. Chindi is the spiritual manifestation of negative energy left behind by the deceased, arising from unresolved emotions, unfinished business, or inner turmoil experienced during their lifetime. According to Navajo beliefs, at the moment of death, a person's good and bad aspects separate. The good ones pass on to the afterlife, while the bad remain on Earth, forming an energy that transforms into a Chindi. This spirit is considered dangerous, as it can bring illness, misfortune, or even death. It is believed to linger in places associated with death, such as graves, abandoned homes, or battlefields. A Chindi can also attach itself to the living, especially if proper funeral rites are not observed or if sacred places are disturbed. Tradition advises avoiding objects that belong to the deceased. The more personal the item, the stronger the presence of the spirit connected to it. The flying head, a creature from Iroquois legend, is a massive airborne head with burning eyes and a mouth full of sharp teeth. In some versions of the story, it is also said to have a pair of wings resembling those of a bat. According to traditional accounts, these dark spirits were born from the souls of murdered individuals who had been wronged and denied a proper burial. Other versions claim the creature emerged as a result of ritual cannibalism or as punishment for breaking sacred laws. Some tales even link its origin to dramatic events such as the decapitation of tribal elders during a famine. The severed heads were said to come back to life as vengeful flying monsters. One of the most well-known legends connects the flying head to Sacandaga Lake in present-day New York. Before the arrival of Europeans, it was said to have driven away the original inhabitants of the upper Hudson River Valley in the Adirondack Mountains, where a mysterious and now forgotten tribe once lived. Although the village has long since disappeared, it left behind a dark reputation. 3 hotels were later built on the site, all of which burned down under mysterious circumstances, leading many to believe the land itself is cursed. Uktena is usually depicted as a gigantic serpent with deer antlers and a legendary crystal embedded in its forehead. This jewel is believed to be a source of immense magical power and is considered one of the most coveted artifacts in Cherokee mythology. It is said to possess healing abilities, offer protection from evil spirits, and attract good fortune. Obtaining the crystal is extremely dangerous, as the creature has a gaze powerful enough to blind its enemies. According to legend, the only known person to have claimed the jewel was Aganunitsi, a mighty Cherokee shaman who, with the help of the artifact, became the greatest hero of his people. In Cherokee mythology, Uktena was created when an ancient race known as the Little People transformed a man into a powerful serpent and sent him to destroy the sun. The mission failed, and Uktena became a threat to humankind. He was banished to a distant realm called Galunlati, where he remained under constant watch. Kushtaka is a creature from the folklore of indigenous peoples living along the southeastern coast of Alaska. Also known as the otterman, it is said to have the ability to take on the form of both a human and an otter. Kushtaka is most often encountered in remote forested areas and along riverbanks. It often imitates the cry of a child or a call for help to lure lonely travelers into a trap. The creature is believed to have the power to transform a human into another Kushtaka, something often seen as a blessing, as it allows the person to survive, though at the cost of their human identity. Some versions of the legend portray this creature not as a threat but as a guide, helping lost wanderers find their way to safety. Stiff-legged bear is a dangerous creature from the legends of the Algonquin tribes who lived in the northeastern regions of North America. This powerful, spiritual bear was known for its stiff hind legs, which gave it a distinctive, somewhat awkward swaying gait. Some accounts also describe it as having large tusks, similar to those of a mammoth. It was said to inhabit deep canyons and remote rocky areas, where it hunted anyone who dared to enter its territory. According to legend, the stiff-legged bear could manipulate the earth and rocks and even cause earthquakes. Some believed it to be the spiritual ancestor of modern grizzly bears or a giant ancient relative. Others thought it might be a mythical memory of a real, now extinct species, Arctodus simus, the short-faced bear that lived during the Pleistocene era.